All right, I'm gonna try to make this into a quick review, but I'm gonna try to cover everything I can think of. Not because it's nitpicking, but just because it might be important to somebody. So this is the CRKT Clever Girl, and I've had this for probably like 6 months maybe, and I decided we'll just do a review on it. Um, the the reason I actually started looking into this knife is because I saw a Cold Steel video where they compared the deadbolt lock to the triad lock. You can see it function here, and it came very close to the weight being able to hold the weight as a triad lock. So I think it's the closest any lock has gotten to the triad lock. So I started looking into all the knife models that had this lock, and this one I think tied with another knife that it basically had the longest blade, which is 4 inches. I like larger knives, and this was the biggest I could get with this particular lock. And so when I looked into it, once I saw this knife, I love the blade shape. I personally, one of my favorite knives is this is the Cold Steel Spada, but it's the 62NGL. So it's the very first Spada they made. So the blade shape's different than the rest. And if you see that, very similar. So I like this knife. I mean, I really like this knife. You can't do a flipper with a triad lock just because of how stiff it is. And I appreciate having a flipper with something so robust as this. And one of the main things that I really like, and I think they had to do it anyways because of just how this lock works. There is no, well, this is the detent here. This controls the detent, this little screw here. And you can adjust it to whatever stiffness that you want. So like if you're afraid that this thing will like open up in your pocket or whatever, you can have the detent pretty hard, so that would make that, I guess it would make it an impossibility if it's like super stiff. Or you can make it like really loose so that when you do flip it, it'll flip out like nothing. But at the point where I have it, I think it's perfect for me. But that's like, I appreciate that amount of just usability or just customization. I appreciate that. So for me, let me just show you real quick. So that's just the flipper. That's the thumb. And then I have to probably move the camera for this. Let's show you. So this is flick of the wrist. But so yeah, you can adjust it. You can sit there, do a eighth of a turn, quarter of a turn, or whatever you want to do, and then just mess with it until you get it down to where you want to. Other than that, it feels solid. When you get it, it feels like it has a nice weight to it. It feels solid. It feels good in hand. The handle is like super nice. So I personally like ice pick grip. And if you look at your hand, just like the anatomy of it, your pinky ends first, and then you got the bottom of your palm. And the shape of the handle is like perfect for that. You have the little flipper here. It prevents you from your hand sliding down. Acts as a little protection. And then this like just basically contours perfectly for me, at least with the bottom of my palm. The belly of the handle like fits nice, like in the center. And then you can do this too. You can have a little bit of reinforcement with your thumb. So this handle is, in my opinion, for my hand, like super nice. So even if you want to do just a forward grip, you have like a saber grip. You can have your thumb here. Same thing. This acts as a stop. and your fingers are nowhere near the button. You know, when you're whatever you use. I mean, I guess this, but it's not in a sense. It's not, your fingers aren't in a place where you're afraid of it might press it slightly or weaken the lockup you have going. The blade shape itself, I mean, this is in my opinion, you know, a self-defense shape, but it's also utilitarian because it's not like a karambit or something like that. That basically all the cutting capacity is not all of it, but most of it is like is the tip where you have a lot of the cutting capacity on the tip, and then you can use the rest of the knife, but you're not going to use the rest of the knife on a karambit unless it's sunk into some kind of material. But the curvature of it, you can cut apples with it. You can cut rope. Fold the rope over and slide it across. It's going to give you a nice good amount of area to cut with. So very nice design, very, very nice design. The handle material is G10. It has a G10 spacer. It has like stippling in the center, and then it has these little lines they ground out. And what I appreciate and what I like about this design too, you can see how the lines curve, so they're not just like cut through. They're curved on the corners, which adds to the grip on the foot in the side of it too, which is very, very nice. You can see the notches there for the grip they put on both sides for your thumb and your pointing finger. Also, like these little details, it's a very thought out, very nice design. This is gonna sound like nitpicking, but these little things, like I said, I don't know what's important to who. So one thing I did find out, or just from having it, is even though this does look like it's like staked in place into the G10, this little ring, it's not. It's just basically it seems to be more. It seems to be attached to somehow to the locking mechanism rather than the handles. It just seems like a little tube that goes down. It's like a little housing kind of, I think. So that does move. And then when you do shake it, it does rattle, but you don't hear it rattle. I mean, you have to shake it pretty well. You don't hear it rattle inside your pocket or nothing like that. So it's not a problem. Like you're not gonna sound like a maraca or something like that when you're walking around, but just something to point out. And then, yeah, something to point out. And the other thing, this knife is a thicker handle. It does have a thicker handle than most normal knives. But I mean, for grip, it's perfect, I think, for grip. But you are gonna feel that in pocket. Like I said, this is something I don't mind, but just so you know. And then just actually as a comparison, let me see if I can show you. Okay, they're flat on the other end. This is this much thicker than right. Yeah, it's not much. If I can show it to you. Wait, there. So it's there. So it's about probably 1/8 of an inch thicker, a little bit more. So it is thicker than even this. And then other than that, the only other thing that I can think of, I suppose, is that the clip. I mean, the clip is fully functional. I think I haven't had any problems with it. So the main problem I have is, the only problem I would have with the clip is putting it into the pocket, having just engage your pocket, grab onto your pocket. And if it didn't do that well, or if when you pull it out, if it had too much tension, that would be a pain too. Other than that, I don't really care. But it does those things perfectly, so that's fine. There's no problem. There's not enough of a lift there, so it goes into your pocket and comes out of your pocket fine. The only thing somebody might not like is that it is only one screw. So there is a recess cut out for it in the G10 itself, and it is one screw instead of two, but I haven't had any problems with it moving around. There's some rust on there. I have to oil this, but so I haven't had any movement, which is fine. But yeah, those are things just to point it out. The other thing, the other thing is the thickness of this handle too might coincide with the thickness of the blade itself, just of how this lock works. So if you do look up a video, I mean, if you can, check out a video on how the lock works, and basically you have these little bolts that get pushed out of the blade. So I'm guessing the thickness has to do with how much depth those little bolts have to go into the blade itself for it to engage, for it to be considered safe. So I'm guessing maybe a thinner blade might get you a thinner lock, so that might play into the thickness of the handle too, maybe. And yeah, that's basically everything I can think of, I guess. Overall, I like it a lot. This to me is less. The reason I've been using it a lot too is it's less less crazy looking or just weird looking. Oh, just weird looking than this guy. So I still carry this, but every now and then I'll carry that if I, for whatever reason, I guess it's nice. Well, it's nice to have an alternative, which is still very robust, very well made, self-defense oriented, but not as more socially acceptable, because if you pull this out, it won't look as weird or whatever if you pull this out. So just in case, every now and then, if I feel like carrying that knife, I will, and it's nice to have that option. And then other than that, the only thing I wish they would add to this knife is a wave function. So out of the pocket, anything with a wave function is going to be like way faster. But yeah, I don't know if they ever will, but I do like the just the blade shape. I do like this little lift here. It's just in general very nice, very well designed. Okay, if you have any questions, let me know. Okay, bye.